Welcome to the Landco podcast, where we aim to bring value to landowners and prospective land buyers through our experiences and network. I'm your host and managing partner of Landco, John O'Reilly. Okay, guys, welcome back to the Landco podcast. We are here back with Matt and Ryan. Thanks for joining us, guys. And episode 3 of the year-round Whitetail Hunter. So now we are covering, it's actually April 1st, but we're covering March. So I will just warn you on this episode, we were chatting a little bit before we started, and it has been like as slow as a month as you can have. So, and we're all on lockdown, so not much that we can do there. So what have you guys been doing? I know we talked about burning a little bit still. That went in from February to March.
Yeah, we're trying to burn a little bit. Things are greening up enough underneath that it's not burning as good as I'd like, and so we're just kind of picking our spots right now and just burning what we can, which is we're not going to get near done what we had hoped for the spring, but we've got a little bit done. We got a little bit more to go.
Okay. If it's too wet underneath, you think you're just going to miss it completely on some spots, or you're going to wait and try to burn a little later?
Yeah, we'll just totally miss it for this year.
Yeah. You burnt it all in, Matt?
Yeah, just little spots, man. Like you said, it's the opportunities we've had to get out on some farms to do some burning. We've just had to pick and choose spots with what the weather allows.
Right.
It's so wet and cold all March that we haven't been able to get a whole lot done.
Yeah. Same in the waterfowl world. We're doing the same thing with Jody, and it's like, man, you couldn't even hardly get to half of the stuff we needed to.
Yeah. So it's a lot of the same as what we were doing in February, moving some stands around. I've done a little bit of shed hunting the whole month of March, mainly because they dropped late this year. I think Matt would agree to that for whatever reason, lack of stress or lack of a hard winter, they just seem to drop later this year. So I looked as late as last week and picked up 2. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with it now, unless I find something. I'm in the tractor working ground here in the next couple of weeks, but move a few stands. Like I said, we're doing a little burning, just getting finalizing the last of the equipment. We're ready to head to the field. So yeah, we're going to try to run some anhydrous tomorrow for the production crop side of things, and then we'll be ready, in a couple of weeks, hopefully, to start putting sunflowers in and that kind of stuff. But we're ready. Yeah.
Matt, you the same? You get out and do a little shed hunting still?
Definitely been out doing some shed hunting, and, it's echoing what Ryan said. They have dropped late this year, but, as of the 30th, I checked some cameras. I still have some bucks with both sides, a lot of half racks still running around, which doesn't surprise me too much. We don't put, we're not running around the farms, stressing the deer out too much, and there is quite a bit of food on our places on most of them. So, I'll probably put more boots on the ground this weekend and just try and find a couple of sheds off some bucks I've been looking for. And other than that, it's just prepping for when it dries up a little bit to maybe do some new food plot work, expand some existing plots, or maybe, make some new access to existing plots.
Right. And is that kind of in the back of your mind when you're out there shed hunting, also kind of like,
Absolutely. Always making notes, going back to the maps and making some edits to those with new trails or access points in there, just based off what we saw this past year.
Right. You guys already ordered your seed. I know Ryan has. Matt, have you bought all that stuff yet, or are you still holding out?
Yeah, a lot of some seed I've got ordered. We'll go in with some clover, alfalfa, with the spring rains coming in and get that in there. But a lot of the stuff we'll kind of hold off for later in the summer when we go broadcast our brassicas through there. But we're pretty well set right now. Okay.
Man, this month is pathetic. We're sitting at like 4 minutes and we're done.
Well, the good news is we've had a great first quarter in land sales.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Which is odd because people listen to this. People might listen to this a year from now or 2 years from now. So we're in the middle of this like lockdown because of the pandemic. So I just assumed, kind of braced for the worst. Last year wasn't the best. now we're dealing with this, and like so far, land sales have been great. Closed on what?
Was it 3 farms this week?
3 this week, and we have 1 more next week.
2 more.
2 more next week.
Yeah.
Well, I've got 1 next week. If I think you've got 1 next week, maybe.
Yep, we have one. I'm thinking late next week.
Same here. So.
Still, and we were talking about doing a market update and kind of a listings update soon, so we'll get more into depth on it. But like, it's still smaller farms. I mean, I did see one sold that was maybe 300 acres, and there's been a few auctions, but most of the stuff is still 40, 80, 120, stuff like that. Which that's been normal. That's been the case for what? A couple years, 3 years. So. But we can get more into that when we do that. I don't know if we're going to do a Facebook Live or just do a podcast on that. So you guys are just waiting until it dries up, and then you're hitting the field, right?
Yeah, we got rain coming in Friday late afternoon or evening, and then after that, next week we'll probably start trying to work some ground.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, what are we missing? Well, I don't want to cover stuff just to cover it if it's not actually going on. Is there something that you guys would have been doing if it was, different circumstances that you didn't get to?
No, we would have been just burning like crazy, but it's just been so wet that we haven't had really much of an opportunity to burn much. So that's what we typically would be doing in March, is really focusing on burning and that kind of stuff. But and maybe if a couple of years ago it was dry enough, we were able to even drill some alfalfa, but this year just not going to happen. So
yeah,
the end of April, when we talk again a month from now, we'll have a lot to talk about.
For sure.
Yeah.
And most of our farms, we're good on orchards and stuff, which, I just kind of like those, but that's something that a guy could be doing if you got good enough weather to start getting some of those trees in.
Sure. Yep.
Ground soil's warm enough to get that to be fine.
Right.
But we're just not doing that this year. We're pretty stocked on those.
Yeah. I will say with the the lockdown and people able to get outside and just enjoy the outdoors a little bit. Couple of clients who bought some water properties. I'm getting lots of reports that the fish have been biting pretty well. So
yeah, we didn't have a single fish fry last year on my farm, and we've already done it 3 times. So bored. Gotta do something to entertain the kids.
Absolutely.
Okay, well that is it. Anything else we want to cover in March? Did you buy some gear while you're just sitting at home in front of the computer?
I haven't, and that's by design, because otherwise, I mean, if I'd be spending thousands of dollars on just stupid stuff right now. So I've been trying to keep myself busy at the farm.
Yeah, it's best that I don't sit in front of a computer with my credit card handy at this point in life.
Well, I've bought a few things, but not so bad.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, that'll wrap it up. We're not going to carry this on if there's nothing to talk about. So maybe we'll do a few kind of micro topics here in the next couple of weeks on listings, market updates, that stuff. But as far as the year-round whitetail hunter, March, slow month, wet, pandemic, just nothing really to talk about. So,
but good for land sales.
What's that?
But good for land sales.
Yes, land sales and activity are good. I mean, I'm still getting calls and all that stuff. But that's it, man. So we will try to come back at you quicker with some little micro updates. But a month from now, we will do April, and it will be a little more entertaining than this one. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.